So, hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are safe and are staying at home. So, guys, this is the third part of the video series, and today, here we'll actually be building the models for our information. That is, we want to display some information. So, if you guys have been following this series, so as you guys know, we have built the basically out of our app, and also we are basically done with our navigation part. So, as you guys can see, we can hit the tiles and we are being redirected to the respective screens. So right now, so now our main job is to uh, display the information out here. So we want to display the safety tips and advices over here in our safety screen, and also we want to display the real-time data or the latest information or the latest numbers over here. So yeah, so that's what we need to do now right now, and also we want to display the total number of cases over here. So yes, so first of all we need to build the models for our data. So right now I have so for our safety tips file, or for our safety tips screen, we actually want to display the information, and I'm going to parse that information or retrieve that information from a local JSON file. So I have this JSON file inside my assets folder, which is in my root directory. So what you guys need to do is to create a new folder into your root directory, and inside it you need to put this file, which is for me it is who.json, because the information is from World Health Organization. So this is the information, as you guys can see. So this is just a simple JSON file, and we have a list of objects, and each object has a feature, that is a title and a subtitle. So this basically gets synced with our list style widget, because there also we need to provide a title and a subtitle. So as you guys can see, we have a title, and then we have the title over here, and then also we have the subtitle and the description. So now my goal is to get this information, to retrieve this information from here and to display it back to our screen. So first of all, guys, we also need to display the data of our the latest data of the number of cases. So we want to display it into this screen, that is the tracker screen. So what we need to do is we need to create a model. So first of all, the first model would be for our safety model, that is the offline information which we'll be parsing from the local JSON file, and the next one would be for our API. So let me uh, introduce you to the API. So this is the API which I am using. So as you guys can see, this is a very complex JSON. So yes, we actually will be needing a lot of boilerplate for it, but I will be using JSON serialization and build runner method, through which we can actually generate the classes or the models. So as you guys can see, we want this information. So this is the total number of cases over here. So we want to retrieve this information which is inside this key, and we also have this key and then this key. So yes, this is very complex JSON. And if it was JavaScript or any other like web project, then you guys know that it might be quite easy to retrieve this information, but in Flutter it is actually a bit complex, not difficult, but a bit complex. So yes, so today we'll be building the models, and I'm going to show you how to generate models using the JSON serialization plugin. So guys, before that, if you if you are stuck somewhere, or if like your code is not working, you guys can get the source file of this project into my GitHub repository. So I'll be giving the link in my description, so you guys can go there and check out the code, the source code over here. And also don't forget to join my Discord server. So as you guys know, we'll be discussing some latest Flutter projects and latest web development projects. So do join my Discord server, and I'll also give the link in the description. So do check this out. And back to our app. So let's get started. So guys, if you have included the JSON file into your assets folder, you also need to mention it in your pubspec.yaml. So what you need to do is go to your pubspec.yaml. Then here, if you have not used it before, then you guys can see that this one would be commented. And what you need to do, just uncomment it, or yes, so you need to uncomment it, and what you need to do, you need to include the path for your JSON file over here, and you need to save it, and that's it. So after doing that, it will get the packages and it is going to run. The JSON file will be officially included to your project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove it now. So right now we need to work with our models. So back into our models folder. So if you guys have followed this series, then you guys might know that we have created these folders earlier, and we have also used the screens and the widgets folder. So we have not used the models folder right now, and we'll also be needing another folder for our API. So let's create the folder, which is the let's call it services folder. And in this video we'll be working with the models folder, and inside the models folder, first of all, I'll be creating a class to retrieve our local JSON file. So I'll be creating a model or a class. So it would be for our advice, so advice.dart. And inside this, this will be a basic Dart class. So class advice, and then what it is going to do is it is going to actually include a string, because we had, as I have shown you earlier, we have two features. So over here, one title and one subtitle. So we need two parameters. So one is title. Okay, so one is title, and the other one would be a string subtitle. And now we need to initialize it. So basic, okay, not basic, advice, and here we have our parameters, that is, we have our the constructors, that is this dot title and this dot subtitle. Okay. So after that, what we need to do, we need to retrieve the information from our JSON file. So for that, we'll be using the factory method. So factory. So if you guys don't have any idea about this factory method, actually, it actually lets it is a method which actually defers initialization of the classes. So it actually lets the subclasses decide which class actually needs to be instantiated. So it is the factory method, and if you guys want to make if you guys want me to make a video on it, then I'll definitely make it. Do write me in the comments if you guys have no if you guys are having some doubts. And so right now we are going to get our JSON. So advice dot from JSON, and it is going to take a map, a small map, and which is going to take a string, and also a dynamic, that is the object. So we are going to set it dynamic and JSON. And after that, what we need to do is we actually return a new advice. So advice over here, the class advice. So as you guys can see, it is actually going to instantiate the parameters which we actually need over here. So if I give the title, then it is going to instantiate the title part of the advice class, but I will be needing both, so title and also the subtitle. So I hope you guys have got it now. So JSON title, and also this should be a comma, not a semicolon. So subtitle. So as you guys know, it takes a parameter, title and subtitles, the advice class, and now actually we are going to return the subtitle, JSON subtitle. Okay. So after that, what we need to do, we need to create a list. So we need to create the list of the advice, that is the advice list. So class, we need to create another class, and this class would be the advice list. And inside this class, what we need is we need to first of all, we need to take a list. So list, final list, and that list is going to be based on our advice class. So advice, and it would be advices. Let's call it advices. And After that we need to instantiate it, so advice list, and inside it this dot advices. Okay, and after that we are going to use the factory method again, and okay, factory dot advice list dot from reason. And we are going to pass the parameters. We are going to pass a list because it is a list of objects, remember, and it is of type dynamic because as you guys might know that Dart actually does not recognize the types like a map. So if I write here map, then it is actually not going to work over here. So I'm just going to set it as dynamic, and this would be parsed. Let's call it parsed JSON. And what it is going to do, it is going to get a list. So list, okay, so list, and advice, list of advices, which will be called advices, and new, it's going to return a new advice. Okay, so that's it. So after that what I'm so I have actually declared a list, a new list called advices. So it is not returning a new list, but it is, I've declared here a new list called named advices, and then it is what it is going to return, it is going to return an advice list now. So it is going to return an advice list, and this advice list is actually going to take a parameter. And what is this parameter? Yes, it is actually a list, so we need to provide a list inside this advice list. So advices, which will it will take a list. So parsed JSON dot map, and yes, let's use arrow functions. So I'm going to use arrow function for a shortcut over here, and it would be advice dot from JSON, and it would be I dot, and we want it to uh, so we want our each parsed object from JSON to be appended to the list, the new list which we have created now. So yes, so we have this. So now what, as you guys can see, we are parsing this data from who.json, and actually we are passing it accordingly with our advice class, and then we are creating a new list over here, and it is returning the advice list, and along with the advices which have been passed from the JSON and been added to that empty list which we have mentioned here. So yes, this was a pretty much simple model for a simple JSON file like this. So yes, it's not that long, and it is quite simple. But what for JSON data which is very complex? Suppose there is some JSON data which is like this. If I, I show you guys, so suppose the JSON data came out to be like this. So we have a key, then we have a list. So inside this list we have another key, then we have another object, then we have another list. So all these things. So for that we need to use something called a JSON serialization. So what I'm going to do, actually let me just all this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to cut it, and now what we need to do, so first of all let me save it. So so the class for our the safety tips is almost ready, so the model is ready. So what we need to build now is the models for our tracker data, which will be a complex JSON data. So let me show you guys again. So here we have the information. So as you guys can see, we have the objects, and inside these objects we have a key. So inside this key we have a list. So inside this list we have another key, and no, inside this list we have another object, and inside that object we have another key, and then another object, and then another key, and then the value. So it is very complex. So what we need to do for it now, first of all, I'm going to use a JSON serialization for Flutter. So let me go to pub.dev, and yeah, first of all, let us create the file. So yes, so inside the models folder, let us look back at the API. So we need to create, so actually guys, we are going to need four more files, that is four more new models. So yeah, so let us look back to our API. So over here, so as you guys can see, we need a file for a response, that is we will be getting maybe this feature is actually directly to that object. So yes, so we will be needing a model to get the features, and which will be our response maybe. And then we also need a model for to get the attributes, so it will be the features, because it is going to get the attributes from the features. And if you guys if you guys look carefully, then the features is actually the attributes object is actually the first element of this list. So it will not be difficult. So as soon as we return the attributes, we are so in the features file, we are going to find the attributes, and in the attributes file we are actually going to find the value which we want over here. So what I'm going to do, actually we need four files. Yes, we need to create four more files. So the first file, we will also be needing the total counter, so the total number of cases and all. So I think we'll be building that in the next part of this video, because it will be very long, because will we will be having three models, and we will also need to generate it. So bear with me, because once we do that, then our main job is finished, and then we just have to get the information over here. So guys, let's create the first model. So let us call it as maybe it should be response dot start, because it is going to give us the response, that is the features. And then we need to create another file, and this one would be a features dot start, so it is going to give us the attributes. And then we need another file, it's attributes dot start, and it's going to give us the value. So yeah, that's it. So and now we have to generate these three models. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with response dot start. So right here, so actually we need to start from attributes, not from feature, because we will be coming from attribute itself. So in our attributes, there will be the value which we want to access. So first of all, we need to include some plugins or some external dependencies. So the first one which we need is the JSON serializable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy this up. So this is the latest version we'll be using, that is 3.2.5. So I'll just copy it, and I need to include it in my prospect.yml. So back in my prospect.yml, what I'm going to do, I'm going to include it as a Dave dependency. So right here, over here, I'm going to include this. And also we need the JSON annotation plugin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to over here, and right now we need the JSON annotation package. And uh, okay, so I'll just copy it up, and uh, I'll put it into that dependencies section in my prospect.yml, paste it here. And also we need the build runner. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the build runner plugin. So here we have the build runner, and I'll also install it. So uh, I'll put it as a Dave dependency. So right here, just below the JSON serializable, I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm going to get all my packages, Control S, that is, I'm going to save it. And okay, so I hope the packages, yes, so we have our packages included into our project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit it, and I'm also going to remove it. So back in the attributes.art file, what I'm going to do, I'm going to import import package JSON annotation dot dart. Okay, and then what we need to do, we need to create a part. So actually I'm going to generate one more file, and that file will be generated automatically by Flutter, and it will actually return us the value that we obtained from the attributes. So and that file will be a part of this file, so I will be showing you guys that file as soon as we create it. So first of all, let's call it as attributes dot g dot dart. And yes, so after that, what you need to do is there's some take attributes. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to uh, give a JSON serializable. Actually we are including it under JSON serializable, so that actually it knows which class to serialize. So now I'm going to give the class. So class, let's say maybe we want to get the total count. So because we want to use the total count for our life, for this part, that is the latest information or the live data, and also for our tracker. So yes, so we are going to get that. So first of all, let's call it as corona uh, total total uh, total count attributes. And after that, this is a class, so it has a parameter which is the value actually. So it takes the value, and let us initialize the values. So total count attributes, and let's call it this dot value. So we are done here. And also we need to use the factory method. So factory corona total count attributes dot from JSON, and it is going to take a map, and it will be a string dynamic value and JSON. Yes, let's use arrow function over here. So it should be actually it is going to create another class, and we are going to call it as corona uh, case total count attributes from JSON. So it is going to create a class named after this. So it's basically showing this error because it is not yet created. So we are going to create it. So actually it JSON serialize is going to create it. So map string and dynamic. Yes. So okay. So to JSON, and so actually it should be a to JSON. So it might be a bit confusing right now, but actually if you want to parse like a complex JSON in Flutter, then you have to use this method, or else you have to write a lot of code. And yes, this is something which is a bit confusing, which might be a bit confusing for Flutter. So actually I'll just copy it up and paste it here. So what we are doing here, we are going to create we are actually creating a simple JSON file from a complex JSON. And in the next part, that is which the model which will be generated by JSON serializable. So there we are going to extract the value. So you guys are going to see it. So like this. So after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it with the help of build runner. And yes, don't mind the errors. As I have told you earlier, we have not created the files. That's why it is giving us this type of errors. So so actually it is going to create a new file named after this. So let me go back to my terminal. So I'll bring a new terminal, and I'm just going to type here as flutter pub. Okay, pub run build runner, enter. And now it should create a new file after the name attributes.g.dart into our inside our models folder if everything goes perfectly. So it takes a couple of seconds before we have it. So here it is creating the new file. So yes, so let's wait, and it is getting created. And so the file is being created, so let's wait a few more seconds. So guys, as you guys can see, we have our file here, so it is getting created. So as you guys can see here, it is mentioned that do not modify it because it is generated code. And as you guys can see, we are also getting, it is returning the value which we want over here, and it is getting returned as an integer. So the JSON value is getting returned as an integer with our value parameter which we have given here. So this corona total count attributes takes the value, and we have this value over here, and it is actually an integer. So we are getting this, and this is the class which I was talking about. So okay, so we are still getting this error. Oh, so this one should be attributes, not attribute. And uh okay, so this one should be true JSON, not so so basically I think we have to create, okay, so this one should be true JSON, not from JSON. And okay, so all set now. And so I hope that actually we have here, as you guys can see, we have the class from JSON, and we also have the class to JSON. So that's it. So we have created a new file, and I know this video is getting a bit longer, and we have to create this for two more files. So what I'm going to do, I am just going to copy paste it up so that it happens more quickly. So back in the features.dart, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to copy a whole of it, and here I'm going to paste it, and this one should be features .g.dart. And features actually it is going to take the attributes, not value, because attributes will be taking the values. So it would be total count, it would be features. Okay, so features, and this one will also be features. And yes, features, features, same for this one, features. Okay, so so I guess yes, so it is going to take in the attributes, so features here over. And so what we need to do is corona total count features, and it is going to take attributes. Okay, and so we need to initialize the attributes. So this dot attributes, and yes, that's it. So let's save it, and let's run the build runner. So uh, so I'm going to run it again. Flutter pub run build runner. So it is going to create a new file with the name features.g.dart inside our models folder, and it is going to create these two classes. So oh, it's created quickly. So yeah, let me show you guys. So we have this class and to JSON and from JSON, as we have mentioned over here. So yes, so that's it. And after that, we need to do with another one that is the response.dart. So the response.dart is going to return the feature. So I'll just copy it up, and I think we have done a small mistake over here. So this one is actually going to take the attributes, not features. So attributes class which we have defined earlier. So attributes. So we need to import it. So I'm just going to import it easily by using just dot slash because it is in the same folder. So it is attributes dot dart. So yes, we are getting attributes over here, and let's save it. And actually this will not affect the created file because in the created file uh, so oh, actually I'm looking at the wrong file. So here we have the error because I have done that mistake over there. So what we need to do, we need to delete it and we need to create it again. So what I'm going to do, I need to create it again because I've done a small mistake over there. So definitely we were not going to return the features because it would be not good. So flutter uh, pub run actually build runner and yes build, and that's it. Okay, so when mistakes happen, then a lot of mistake happen. So that's true. So I hope it runs now. Okay. So we have this file again, and let's check it out. So we have it here. So this one should be attributes. Okay, so yes, that's it. So let's now remove this, and actually I'm going to copy it from a response.dart file. So let's copy it and back to the response.dart file. I'm going to paste it here, and now here we need to import the features .dart file. So features dot dart, and also this one should be a response dot g dot dart. So response dot g dot dart, yes. And now it is going to return the features which will then return the attributes, and then it will return the values. So yes, so if we look at the API, so that's what features, attributes, then the values. So yes, that's what we're gonna need to do. So back here again. So now we need to return the features. So remember that the features actually is a list. So if we look at the API, so yes, so where did it go? So if we look at the API, then you guys might notice. So I hope you guys are noticing. So let me make this a bit bigger. So here we have the features. So features are is actually a list. So as you guys can see, this is a list. This is mapped with a list, and then inside this list we have another object. So this is the object, and then inside this object we have the attributes. So the attributes is mapped with another JSON object. So we have this object, and then here we get the value. So yes, so the features is actually a list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return a final. It takes a list. So list, and this one will be according to the total count of features which we have created just now. So features, and yes, so it is going to return the features, not the attributes. So features. Okay, so this one would be total count. This one would be features. So features, and then this one would be our response, not features. So response, and this one will also be the response. So response, and yes, all this will be responses. So uh, response, and same for this one. Okay, so we have our response to and from JSON, and we need to create it now. So I'm going back to my terminal, then flutter pub run build runner and build. Okay, so we are going to have the response.g.dart file. So as you guys can see, we have our classes and it is going to return features. So that's it. So guys, we have created the models, and I know this video was a bit long. I think around uh, it should be around 20 to 30 minutes. So I'm really very sorry for because some mistakes happened, that's why it got a bit long. But yes, do cope it up. And also, if you are confused or finding a difficulty somewhere, do write me in the comments. And also, you have the we have the source file in my GitHub, so you guys just click the link in the description to my GitHub repository of this project, and there you can find everything. And also guys, do like this video and do share this video if you found it helpful, and do subscribe to my channel. And this will motivate me to bring in new videos and new Flutter projects. So till then guys, I will be seeing you in the next part. And in the next part, what we'll be doing is we'll be displaying the data into our safety tip screen. And yes, that's what we'll be doing. And the main part, that is the most complex part, is now a bit finished. So we just need to get the data now and to display the data. So that we'll do in the later parts. So guys, till then, uh, I'll see you guys in the next part. Take care.